Évidemment, vous avez en main le communiqué de presse de la Fédération.
You have the press release from the Federation in your hands, so with lots of satisfaction and great relief that we have read the decision from the FIFA committee allowing players, Canadian players, men soccer players, as it is for women, to wear headgear during the games. We rejoice over the fact that decisions related to this rule has been submitted. So the Quebec Soccer Federation board have met last night, and since it was answering to our two expectations, saying that we were expecting the FIFA's directives and approval in terms of security and parameters that were said. So we unanimously decided as a board to cancel the prohibition of turbans, Kafka and Keksi on the Federation field. Our objective has always been to have the permission from FIFA for this, and it's with lots of happiness that we are here to announce today that there's no more ambiguity on that level, and that the Canadian Soccer Federation we have also interpreted as a possibility to apply it differently since the approval of the policy from the CSA on April 11th. We are sad that all these political and religious issues have been lifted, whereas we were only looking for a clarification on this point of rules that were ruled by a higher authority in Switzerland, and the decision to lift this interdiction of the wearing of headgear, according to the rules that according to the content of the letter we received from the CSA on June 11th, the suspension is immediately lifted, and we are happy to resume our activities normally and on every soccer field in Quebec. The situation is now settled. We will be able to go back to our first mission, which is to allow kids to develop, to have fun playing soccer in an organized way and secure way, whatever their level of ability, of skills, their race, gender, nationality, and religion. We had a hard time to communicate our intentions clearly in the last few days. If we have shocked people that we have and we regret to have all the consequences that were brought for our teams, organizers, tournaments, and or other people involved in soccer. So according to those FIFA rules you have in the press release, the parameters based touching the wear of turbans all across Canada. So I'm happy to say finally that yes, it's a happy conclusion of this litigation, and that has come out of the soccer field way outside of what we've expected, and it's with great pleasure that we go back to work, and we will welcome the Asian national team on June 26th until the end of July in preparation for the Gold Cup, and they will play games against the Premier League teams here, and in the French team, also the U17 World Champion team that will come and play our U18 team preparing for the Canada Games, and we will play on July 2nd in Laval, July 4th in Sherbrooke, and July 6th in Quebec City. So thank you for listening, and thank you for your interest. Questions? There was already a directive from the Canadian Soccer Association last fall. Why hasn't this been settled? I came back to work in mid-September, so I wasn't aware of that. I don't know if my president knew that, but I didn't know of that letter that you're referring to. We got a letter in April making us aware of the policy about gears that was communicated by the CSA. Question inaudible. Well, we would have wished to avoid all of this if we had a discussion with the Canadian Soccer Association, if the two parties were able to meet. We would have avoided this situation, and we regret it. We have the documents about the meeting you had in March and with the directives. Yes, we had a meeting in March, and after that we decided to go ahead with to follow the April 11th directives. Well, the board meeting happens behind closed doors, so the directives follow afterwards. So on April 11th, the CSA has sent us a letter following the March 22nd board meeting, and we received the directives on April 11th. Other questions? So you're saying it's only a bad management of communications in that situation? No. I think that if we could have sit down with the Canadian Soccer Association a bit more and have the possibility to work together in the resolution of problems, we could have avoided all of this. We come out of it with satisfaction against the request that we've made with FIFA, that it can be more precise and more clear, and with all the parameters of it. Was there other incidents than those reported earlier this week? No, there weren't. Yeah, we are in constant contact with the Canadian Association. We spoke last night, and following this, we decided to go ahead, and we were able to get the Canadian Soccer Association letter from FIFA saying that FIFA allowed the wearing of turbans on the soccer fields, and so all the relations are very good with the Canadian Soccer Association. We worked hand in hand, and we're hosting a Canadian Championship in early July in Quebec, and we know that we will do well as a host as we did in the past. The suspension will be lifted immediately after we send their letter. It's confirmed in that regards. As soon as we send our letter saying that we reverse our decision of June 2nd, and the suspension will be lifted, because we already got confirmation that the Canadian Championship will remain in Quebec in July. Did you appreciate how big this became an issue in the rest of Canada? I think it was way above what we could have expected. It took surrealistic dimensions. We never could imagine that it would become like this. So despite of us, we were victims of all kinds of considerations touching religion and all of this, where we simply had as a mission and as a duty as the Quebec Soccer Federation and as other federations to make sure that our players can evolve in a good, a healthy and secure environment. About the words you said about sending people that should go play in their yards if they can. Well, English is not my first language, so I was trying to find, really looking in my mind to the best word. And I have more ease in French, but and after that I found out that in English what I said, and I really regret what I said, and with the English community for what I've said, and it's involuntary, and I'll be very, very careful in the questions I get in English in the future. Other questions?
Oui, allez-y.
Question inaudible.
Oui, de lever l'interdiction.
Yeah, it lists the interdiction of turbans.
Happy that FIFA has clarified its position. The Quebec Soccer Federation authorizes wearing of turbans in Quebec.